This is your CBS 46 News Update, brought to you by West Shore Home.
Good morning, I'm Gervier Denza. A massive tree falls and splits a home in half in northwest Atlanta. It happened on Fairlane Circle. The most frightening part of this is that the family was inside when it happened. We spoke with a man who says he was playing video games when he heard this huge crash. The family was able to get out through a basement door. Nobody was injured. Today is day 4 of early voting, and so far more than 740,000 Georgians have cast their votes in the presidential election. More than half of the 3-day of in-person voting. Some people have waited 3, 6, even 9 hours. We spoke with our state's top election official about those long lines and concerns about voter suppression.
Well, some of the longest lines, for example, we saw in Fulton County so far that I've heard of actually have been in North Fulton County. And so that's not, I would say that's probably a 50-50 Republican-Democrat area. But it's not really any demographic group, obviously. And then down at State Farm, it's 10-15 minutes.
The Secretary of State denies there are any issues of voter suppression, and he says he is confident everybody will have an opportunity to vote. He says that there are some polling locations that have had bandwidth issues with voters checking in. The state's now working with the vendor to resolve those issues by the end of the week. The Georgia Bulldogs are getting ready to take on the Crimson Tide this Saturday, but that might change, and we do emphasize might, after Alabama's head coach Nick Saban tested positive for the coronavirus. There are a lot of unanswered questions right now on whether that game is going to be moved perhaps to a later date. We, of course, are staying on top of it. As of right now, a familiar face for Falcons fans, Steve Sarkisian, has taken over calling the shots while Saban is away. Coach Saban says he's not sure how he contracted COVID-19. He says he just hopes his players are able to stay focused on the big game. As it stands, Saturday's game is still on, and you can watch it right here on CBS 46 at 8. Pandemic parking problems are leaving people in Midtown frustrated. Atlanta's Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms recently reissued orders telling parking enforcement officers not to tow or boot vehicles that are breaking parking laws. But people living in these areas say the lack of parking enforcement is doing them more harm than it is good.
Happened to him, nothing. You're not going to get a ticket. You're not going to get towed. You're not going to get booted. So just going to park there.
I'm going to have to park on another street, or I guess I would have to pay for parking somewhere, which I don't think I should have to do at my house.
The order that bans parking enforcement is set to expire October 31st. Now let's get the latest on today's forecast with meteorologist Rodney Harris, and it looks good, although some changes, huh?
Yeah, we got some changes, but you're right, Kavir. It does still look good after some clouds early on Thursday. We're up to 80 degrees later on this afternoon, so enjoy the 80s because it really won't last long. We do have another cold front that's moving in tonight and into Friday, so we go from 80 degrees today to 70 degrees on Friday. And then as we go into the weekend, we'll see mostly sunny skies, but cooler temperatures with those lows Saturday and Sunday morning in the 40s.
This has been your personal news update from CBS 46 News, brought to you by West Shore Home, Atlanta's one-day bath remodeler.